Welcome, Arthur and David to Metallic Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Misanthropic Rage, this new album, hallucinatory phenomenon, and more things related to the metal world. Starting, how have you been during these crazy times? First, the pandemic, now a war in Europe, another nope. What happened the next couple of years? Alien invasion, zombie apocalypse, or perhaps or perhaps the machine takes the power. Who knows what happened the next couple of years?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly our thoughts, because right now in our generation we had it all. We had three popes, the pandemic, the war, just as you said. Now I don't know, either dinosaurs will resurrect or alien invasion. But
I'm still waiting for alien invasion.
zombie apocalypse.
That's right. That's right. So, well, Arton and David, you decide to form the band at 2015, and 1 year after that, you release your first EP called Qualia. So, and the same year, you release your first album, Gates No Longer Shut. So through the all-time label Gods of War Production. So starting, how were the things at the beginning was of the band with the writing process, pick the name, and more things related to this. So, and what at that time you decide to do the drums on PC and not bring a drum session, because Poland, as usually, has great drummers for the stream music since 2000s.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of great drummers, but apparently they don't grow on trees, so it was really hard to find a suitable one.
Not in our city,
Yeah.
because we have many difficulties to find any kind of a drummer here. It's a small city near Warsaw. And I started a project in about 2015, I guess. And the first, actually, Gates No Longer Shut were recorded the first, before Qualia.
Oh.
But Greg was very interested in the record, and we just decided to make an EP Qualia, because we needed to wait about, I don't know, 8 months probably
For the release,
for the first debut album to
we were
be
really
released.
stoked to release something in the world before that. After Gates, we made Qualia just to have something that we could release that wasn't bound and had to wait for the release.
Yeah, Gates No Longer Shut was finalized in May 2016, and in June we decided to record 2 songs. One 25 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. It was
And
really
the second one, Catharsis, very short one, very fast song, and the cover song of Sadorican.
Yeah, just
King.
for the sake of
Just to
something
be,
else.
that we are, I know, in a label, because it was released digital by Gods of War. So we wanted to just show that Misanthropic Rage is right now in a label, and we are just waiting for debut album to come out.
Great. So talking about this, the name of this Misanthropic Rage. Misanthropic is a great word. It's a great for these times with the pandemic over the world, restrictions, lockdowns, quarantines, and more things related to these aspects. So where the meaning of this word said have hatred for the human nature. So, but the second word in your name is rage. So a relative word to hate. So how do you fit the meaning of the words into your band's names? Because when someone's read Misanthropic Rage, is to say hate to the human nature. So, and how do you feel about the word misanthropic fits perfectly for the isolation of this pandemic?
Well, when I came up with that name, I was struggling with many different things, like jobs, well, a hard life in Poland, and I'm not a huge fan of mankind. And definitely right now we are struggling with many things, like I said, pandemic, war, and it does make sense right now more than it used to. But
it's at the same time, it's nothing new to us. The pandemic, in a strange way, it was even some kind of a blaze, because well, we were forced to restrain our contacts with humanity on every aspect, and that works for me. I'm not really a human person. So most of the time I'm locked in my home anyway. So it was pretty convenient to be exact. I mean, I still had to work, right? But even with that, it was more of online working. So that was really convenient because it suits our characters, and that was probably the good thing. Right now, the war, okay, it's much more complicated aspect, but at the same time, it doesn't concern us that much because, well, I mean, okay, there are people, there are wars. I don't care about the politics. I don't care about the reasons. All in all, it's war. It happens every time. This one is just happens to be loud, but wars are everywhere, and it's nothing new. We were singing about wars long before this one started. So
I want to mention also that the decision of using the artificial drummer on first three records and Qualia was a kind of an idea that it very suits Misanthropic Rage, because I am not a very kind of a friendly guy when it comes to working with musicians. David is just the one, but I don't like musicians. I don't like working with them. I prefer writing stuff on my own in my room, and using artificial drummer, just like Easy Drummer from TuneTrack and all the software, was a great opportunity to me. And what else? I didn't want to find any drummer just for the sake of having drummer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because the more musicians you have, the more people you need to involve in the project. There are more opinions and
more problems you have.
Yeah, more problems with communication and goals and everything like that. Like that. So working just the two of us really suited us because we shared the same vision, and we just couldn't find anyone who
it was more comfortable. Just
Yeah. Well, relating the last question to the misanthropic aspect, do you think the social media for a band that thinks like that is a counterproductive thing to see with their way of thinking? What do you think about the digital era for a misanthropic band?
Well, I guess that's why we're not that active on our Facebook. Not everything. We just post there. Only if we have something to say, like there's a new album coming or we're recording something new, and that's it. We don't spam with all the singles and everything. We don't care.
I think, using social media is a great opportunity to promote yourself on every kind of a level, but well, I'm not good at it, so I need help. David is a younger one. And
not that much.
Yeah, but he used to, I know, use more social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. But still, we are just like old school band, and we wanted to kind of promote ourselves with CDs, MCs, and only music.
Yeah,
not to show our, daily life or just what we have a rehearsal right now or just kind of a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The social media are a trap because at the same time, it's sure, like Arthur said, it gives you opportunity to promote yourself, but it can steal too much of yourself and leave you too vulnerable to the outside, if you know what I mean. Sharing everything, like what you ate today, or that's look, we have rehearsal, right, and everything like that.
That's just music speaks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just music speaks.
Yeah.
But the album, if you like it, great. If you don't, just forget about it and buy another one.
Exactly. We're not there to put our name everywhere and look at us. Yeah, that's not us.
Yeah. Well, now talking about your discography, during the next two albums, as Igni Natur Rebel Noir Integra, 2019, and Towers of the Great Scale Aphorism in 2019, you decide to use a drum machine for your music. So, but for this hallucinatory phenomenon, David entered to the band and bring new things on the music. So why this album brings a drummer? And was he a part of the writing process, or just put and record the drum parts on your music?
Actually, our drummer is called Norbert. I'm David. but yeah.
He's a vocalist right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. to be honest, we after the release of our third album, we tried to complete a live band. So we had to find a drummer, and we did. It's a really young guy, but very talented, and somehow he did fit in our concept. To be honest, sometimes I think that he's even more misanthropic than we are because he's so backed out. I mean, there's so little contact with him. He lives in his own world, right? But don't get me wrong, he's really talented. And after 2 concerts that we played, we decided to start to work on our new album. And like every time, Arthur did the most of the work before. Like the initial sketches, but then we worked on our own parts together. So yeah, he did a huge impact on the sound and shape of the drums, and he did really great work there. And this time we just thought it fits.
After 3 albums of Automatic Drummer, we wanted to, try new things like a real drummer. And he's a very talented guy, as David said. He's 21 or 22 years old right now.
Yeah, very young.
He should be recognized more, and I don't know what to add. Something. He did a great job. I wrote the demo. You know what I mean? With Tune Track software, and he just write them again by himself. And I don't know. It was a schedule right now. It was kind of a sketch, as David said, but he had a great effort in writing stuff also, because those parts were written by him. We didn't
initial sketches.
We didn't instruct him in any way. We gave him a total free hand. Just do what you like to do with all those songs, record them as you want, and that's all.
And he was really stoked about it. He recorded them all by himself and his brother, and they were spending really long time on that, and did really great.
And even after session, we didn't talk with him, change that, change this, you know what I mean?
Everything was perfect since the very beginning.
Everything was used.
We did
Okay, good. A detail that I've been seeing since the beginning in Misanthropic Rage is that you are always under the label Gods of War production from Greg. How was the work with him since the beginning? And did you have another proposal to release future albums or more things with the band or with other label?
No, never. But even if we did, we probably didn't intend that. But because Greg is a really great guy with a very passion about what he does, and since the very beginning, when we recorded our first album, I've been sending it to the many labels, and he was pretty much the only one who responded. There was some others, but with really short answers like "it's cool, but we don't want it," and something like that. But Greg was really the only one who saw potential in it, and we talked a lot. And he.
What can I say about Greg?
He was really great guy, and he still is. As I said, he's a man with real passion for what he does.
He's a fan of music, and when it comes to our music, definitely underground.
Because I always said, before a musician, I'm always a fan myself first, and that's what I like about him.
Well, it's very different when it comes to Polish, labels, because they want money from you. And for promotion, for
pretty much
stuff,
even in underground, it's all about business.
It's all about business, and Greg is not about that. It's all about music. It's all about being a fan and listen to your stuff. If he likes it, he will promote it. He will put it everywhere.
At the same time, if he doesn't like it, he will just say it, and then he won't release the music just because it will sell out. Right?
If he doesn't like something, he will tell you. That's great way, and I think he's an ideal label guy for us. And
I mean, we're not the band that sells the records fast and makes.
We are not a band, It's just a project. We are not a band. We are not touring band. We are not self-promoting band on social media. We just record stuff, and he likes it. And I guess I am very honored just to being a part of gods
Yeah,
of war.
exactly.
Mm.
So well, we're not something that he will sell instantly, and he knows that, and yet he choose to work with us still. And how could we?
Yeah.
I mean, change that, right?
Okay. So when I hear Gates No Longer Shot, I love the music from the first second. So then you release the second album with the same approach and sound as the band. So, but when you release the third one, Flowers of the Grayscale Aphorism, show up, the music was more experimental in some ways and with different approach from the usual sound of the band. So what do you decide to change the music of the band a bit on an album? And was it a conscious decision or was it natural?
Yeah, it was natural.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I still don't get many opinions that say that Igna Natura was our best,
No, it
or
wasn't.
Gates were best, or I don't know. I cannot I
Well,
cannot relate to that
probably.
because it's I'm too much into making. I remember what was driven me when creating that. It was still very complicated natural process that but it's at the same time it's still the same process. So
Well-
it's hard for me to give this any recognition as I cannot distance myself for that. That's what I wanted to say.
As I was writing towards the Grayscale Aphorism, well, inspirations were different. So while I know the first album was just about technical stuff, more about technical stuff. The second one was more
Atmospheric, I guess.
towards black metal, kind of a gothic elements, and towards, well, I was writing alone in my room for about 1 week. It was just natural thing.
And
for me,
towards, to be honest, was filled with really
I
bad
think more
shit that was going
industrial,
around,
yeah.
and it was a lot of hatred around. So
Yeah, it was very fast record and more aggressive than
yeah,
to before. And well, inspirations were more about Godflesh and all that stuff. So I don't know if you can hear it, but that
Yeah,
was
it
kind of a
definitely was
thing
much more
that
industrial.
inspired me to write that stuff during that album.
Well, on the other hand, hallucinatory phenomena is at the same time different from the other two as well, because it's still some time passed, and now we're listening to the different stuff, and some different stuff inspires us, and it still will be different album from others, but
But it was
I
all-
still believe it's still can be recognized as Misanthropic Rage album.
I think all those albums are very natural. It's not about being kind of a hyped band, you know what I mean? Just I know being in fashion with all the black metal in Poland, black metal is kind of a great thing right now, and we are just not a great black metal. I'm not a hater, but I'm not also a fan of black metal. I like music at all.
Yeah,
You know, and
I'm more black metal guy.
yeah, and I think it can be heard on all the albums. Misanthropic, it's very different. It's a very different music. It's a very difficult music just for listening, and I think every album is a very natural thing.
Yeah, because of
It's not calculating stuff. You know, this is the verse, this is the chorus, and what I mean. All about natural thing. You know, take a guitar and just writing stuff.
and the final result very often becomes the collision of his tastes and mine influences, and it's just something in between.
And I get it, but it's very hard to understand the music because there are many elements there. You know, you have clean
Yeah.
vocals, you have growls, you have black death, all that stuff.
But like I
Yeah,
said
because-
before, we're not guys who have to do anything because we're selling albums or anything like that. No, we're just there, and to be honest, we can do whatever we like, and
What we love.
yeah, and that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Okay, talking about the cover arts, cover arts from the band since the epic EP Quali in 2016, I saw that you did the first cover, Arthur, and from the first album to the third album, you work with Makia Kamuda. So he did amazing covers for the first three albums, but for this new one, you decide to do the cover art again. So explain what are you decide to cover art this time, and could you explain us the meaning of this one related to the lyrics and the title name?
Okay, so I decided to put my own artwork right now because about money. What was the first decision? We didn't have any money for a professional kind of guy. Maciek is great. Maciej Kamuda, yeah, he's a professional artist and he does many covers for Gods of War labels, as you can see in the catalog. But I wanted to have something different right now. Just like, well, I thought to myself that we have a real drummer right now. The music is kind of different. The approach is different. So I wanted to have a cover also different. And being kind of a, because I've noticed that Maciek, he's a professional guy. Okay. But he does many great artworks right now. And they look kind of very similar. You know what I mean?
They have something in
Yeah,
common.
he has his own style, and
Yeah, style.
I wanted something. I'm not a professional or a painter or draftsman, but I wanted to try. I wanted to try doing something different. And when it comes to that cover, well, there were many versions about that, and the final version, I think, responds to a lyrics of hallucinatory phenomena. You can see all those kind of similar statues together. It's a kind of a, what comes to your mind when you can hear that song, especially the intro song, the intro of that song, the title song. I think when you look at that artwork, well, it came to my mind. I sketched it, I painted it, and that's what it is.
At the same time, we felt like first three albums were kind of a strict trilogy that we wanted to distinguish ourselves this time. And
we love those covers by Maciek Kamuda.
We do, but those three albums were complete without a drummer, like I said, and they were something different. And this time, we wanted something totally completely different approach. And
I wanted to.
Money was the problem, but at the same time, Arthur did really.
That was the first part.
That
was the first part. We didn't have any money because of pandemic times. Studio kind of. We were recorded by ourselves. Even drum thing were recorded by the brother of Norbert. And well, as I told you, I thought to myself that I wanted just to the first three albums, by Maciek Kamuda. Just you can see it as a trilogy. And the new one, the fourth one, is just kind of a new beginning, or the final one. I don't know.
Something else.
Yeah, something else.
Okay. Talking about the styles in the band as a black metal on one hand and the death metal on the other hand, but at the same time, some people said in reviewers, and I found in your Facebook page that you play avant-garde that mix everything into this aspect. So talking about especially, so what do you think about that Misanthropic Rage has these elements in your music? Because according to some concepts,
avant-garde, no avant-garde.
That's
I hate this word. I hate this word.
So okay, that's right. Because according to some concept,
but it's something that our reviewers came up with, and it's not really because we didn't know how to call it better.
I think that it always, you can call an avant-garde band when you don't understand the music. Well, it's an avant-garde because you don't understand the music. What the hell is it?
That's right. That's right.
It's not avant-garde. It's not an avant-garde.
Yes. And I hear when I hear the first album, you are the black death metal band because you have a lot of stronger riffs. You have a lot of darkness environments in your music. So the elements from the black and death are there. So it's very for me that I hear this music since the 80s. So I recognize this kind of sounds because I have a lot of experience hearing a lot of this kind of music. And one detail that I want to take the question, that's why, what do you think about now this Polish sound? Because you have a lot of this sound and I think since the Behemoth appears in 1998 with the Pandemonic, this album brings a lot new sounds with in Polish scene, and you bring this one because when I hear Misanthropic Rage, it's a Polish death black metal band. It's not Sweden, not Finland, no US, this kind of stuff. So what do you think about the Polish death metal, Polish black death metal sound now? Because you have it.
Well, it's
Well,
really
sorry.
long.
How can you define Polish sound?
But
Just name me few reasons, but you can name but sound a Polish sound.
I mean,
well,
yeah,
it's more,
Yeah.
it's more darker. Sometimes it's very military in some aspects, has a lot of dissonance in some aspects, a lot of
Right.
technical stuff mixes between, and the black into death. It's very different from, well, has an influence like everyone from the US, like Morbid Angel and some stuff, but you have a little touch, you recognize the sound. When I spoke with Adam from Hate, I spoke with other members from the Polish, or Adam, or from the I spoke with I don't remember, Aserat with Bart. They told me this is an influence of all musicians here. We have the same studios, we have the same people managing along the world with the labels, the scene, this kind of stuff. That's why this sounds form. It's not too easy to say. So it's not too easy to say. So the Floridian death metal center, because they have a Scott Burns in the beginning, and Scott Burns, but when you talk about a specific sound in Europe, in Polish, you have this sound, the studios, the lyrics, because mostly of the bands in Polish talk about the Satanism, anti-Christianity, this kind of stuff, darkness, misanthropic. It's a very peculiar thing. It's except for Vader. Vader has a different. It's more like the first death metal band in Polish with American sound. But after Hate and Asarat, now Misanthropic Rage, I can quote a lot of bands, and this last one has a peculiar sound. It's very different from all Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because we never used those studios the same.
We don't have any studios,
but I guess
only for mastering.
Yeah, but I guess it's not really that simple. I guess it's.
But I get it. Yeah, we have some kind of a culture right now. We are a Catholic country. We are just furious about it.
It's not that simple. It's not just the studios, the band members, the style. It's more more of a reality that surrounds us in our country.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Christian shit going around. I mean, it's a lot of poverty. I mean, after the communism, a lot. Right now, a lot is changing in a good way, but it's still very post-communism country. So I believe it's all the nuances of everyday life that binds us all together. And
that's another reason for what I was saying. It's a natural thing.
Yeah,
we live in Poland. We make music in natural way.
Yeah,
and it comes out that way. You know what I mean? It's just a Polish sound. We don't want to be an American band. We don't want to be another Morbid Angel or Scott Barnes, as you said, in Florida. I'm a huge fan of Death. I'm a huge fan of Morbid Angel, Napalm Death, and all this old school stuff. But even as I was inspired by them, I make my own sound.
Yes,
because it's a natural way for me. It's a natural way for me.
At least that's what we are trying to do. And don't get me wrong. I'm really flattered that you hear the Polish part in us, and I think it's great. But at the same time, I cannot explain it because that wasn't our goal.
And what is more interesting, even we have Mgła right now, many different bands. We are not inspired by them. We just make our sound. Well, not me, maybe you, but yeah, we just make our own sounds, even not inspired by Polish other bands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that. That's why when I spoke with Bart from Ezrat, and he told me that it's very difficult to say this is our sound. It's very difficult. But when you hear a band from there, you have that sound. It's because for the social aspects, because for so this kind of things, you live there. So it's the same way that they produce, you said that you did all mix, but the mastering was in an well-known studio there. So it's the same people trying to do the same music, extreme music, but it's music. So it's
calculate that, well, how can you write a riff, Polish riff? It's not the kind of a thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
It's not like I take a guitar and let's make a riff that sound like Azarat or something.
Yeah. But it's not necessary. It's not necessary to say that riff is well known like Behemoth or Azarat or Licks or Infernal War. No. So when you hear this riff, no, this rip is Polish metal. It's not other metal. If you know what I mean. So okay,
Yeah,
it's not necessarily say you have.
Easier if you have Polish lyrics, you know. If you have it's a Polish band.
which we do not.
Okay,
Nice,
okay. So talking about other matters, I tried to find some live shows of Misanthropic Rage on the web and social media, and I just found a few, especially in YouTube. So how do you manage this aspect? Is yeah. Is a Misanthropic Rage preparing to to do live concerts for this hallucinatory phenomenon? And perhaps
We don't have any plan right now. We had plans afterwards. We played 2 concerts and it was going quite okay, but then the pandemic hit. All the clubs were shut down, and to be honest, after that we never had any offer that would suit us, and we're not looking for it, right? If it happen, it will happen, but right now we're not looking for it, and we're not planning.
I don't know.
Like
When it comes to me, no, I don't like playing gigs. I don't like playing.
Okay, but
Misanthropic Rage thing, and I don't want to, I know, put a show and play for other people. It's not my thing. And well, 2 shows were great, probably. Yeah, the first one also. It was more. Yeah, it was great.
So, and with this, and okay, and with this aspect, and perhaps you, okay, and I know Arthur and David that you don't want to play live concerts, but perhaps someday you want to record a DVD or Blu-ray for special occasions for whole full discography, because I really love to see Misanthropic Rage live. With the digital platforms now, it's more easy than 80s or 90s, no?
Actually, it is, yeah. But
well, actually, the plan of recording ourselves, playing gigs for ourselves, would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Not so great, but just putting a DVD, playing
that's
it.
quite a good
That's
idea.
a kind of a great idea.
Okay. Well, we have 4 minutes about these some platforms. So usually when a band release, I like to ask this question when a band have more than 3 albums or 4. Usually when a band releases a new album, the band thinks that this new one is the best word for them as a cliche, because many bands said that the last word is our best word until today. So, but that counterproductive thing, according to this, is the feeling on the fans with the first album, and usually many reviewers said that the first or the second is the biggest stones and the incomparable jewels of the band. So, and I think as a fan of music as you are, so you have these thoughts about your main influence from the bands, metal bands, rock bands, jazz bands, etc. So what is your opinion of this matter? Do you think the last album for Misanthropic Rage is the best work until today? Or perhaps you have one special album that no one thought, perhaps the second, the third, or perhaps the EP is the best work until today? Who knows?
One question for you. Do you think that Hallucinatory Phenomena is our best album?
No.
As a fan?
No, I think I love 4 because I'm a different kind of fan. That's why I have all I got all CDs. I have all different.
You had to choose one. Only
No,
one.
I'm an 80s person. I'm an 80s person. When I'm unlike, I prefer all albums. I get respect for all albums. That's why I'm start to listen music.
What's your favorite one?
I believe favorite. Well, that's the great point. We need to distinguish favorite or best, because those that's two
No,
separate
perhaps-
things.
Well,
because
maybe to make one.
I
You need to
believe
categorize it.
when I do new album, I believe I put 100% of myself in it, and I try to try. I want it to be the best, because if it won't be, then why would I do it,
But
right?
the final result can be different.
Well, yes, but I write everything with a goal that it has to be the best, because I try to give 100% of me, and there's no point of doing something less than that,
Okay,
right?
what's your favorite one?
But hard to say. It's not. album, I have more favorite songs which differ from album to album.
Okay, more favorite songs. I have my favorite album,
Which one?
Towards the Grayscale Aphorism.
Why? It's
Okay, yeah, that's
why it's not the newest one?
I will tell you why. Okay, even though I think that our new album is production-wise the best, songwriting the best, I had a great pleasure making the third album. And for me as a musician, making an album which is more comfortable to me to make, it was Towards the Grayscale Aphorism.
Okay,
I love it.
is it your favorite or is it the best?
I don't listen to my own stuff.
Exactly.
Well,
Okay, okay.
I can tell you that I think that making the third album was actually very, very, very pleasant, very pleasant experience.
Okay.
And the fourth one, well, because of a pandemic situation, all that stuff, we were struggling with many different things. But I think when it comes to production, it's the best.
Okay.
I love.
Okay. Well, Artur and David, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one as I did, and like me, because I really enjoyed this chat with you. Congratulations on the new album, as usual, it's a great one. Anything you want to add to Latin American fans and Metallerium followers?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Peace.
Listen to the new album.
Thank you for
Okay.
your interest.
Last one.
It was.